Hello, this is Gore, and I'm gonna show you how to get really easy money and XP at the nightclub, The Tasteful. So what you want to do is you want to get that guard to look at you, or at the question mark over his head, then hide behind that wall right there, so he doesn't get suspicious of you, and then eventually he'll step aside and let you go in. So once you go in, you're gonna go towards the back over here where I'm walking right now, and don't go through there. If there isn't a guy there, you can go through there. I just couldn't because there was a guy, and there was a guy there too, so I went through that door. There's 3 different entrances you can choose to go from depending on where the enemies are. So then once you do that, you're gonna go through the kitchen if it's clear. It's okay if the civilians see you, they don't care. Just don't let those guys with the jackets see you. You want to go back in here if there's no one in there, which there was, but I was able to walk past him. You open the door to go through the back. There sometimes can be a guy back here, so be careful of that when you are back here. So then you want to go through here, and I was lucky enough to only have 1 person here. Sometimes there can be up to 3, and he dropped a key card, and that's what you want. You want to get the key card from at least 1 guard, and it's kind of random if the guard chooses to drop a key card or not. I think it's like on the easier difficulties it's a 1 to 2 chance, and harder difficulties it's 1 through 4, something like that. Anyways, there's another guy that came in, and I waited for him to walk a little bit farther from the door, and then I killed him. It's okay if you shoot here. The people in the kitchen can't really hear you, but as long as you have a silencer, that is. So I got him, and you just kind of want to sit here and make sure no other people start coming into the room, or else they can alert the police. So I'm just looking around a little bit. I kind of just stay here and check around and whatnot. And then once you think it's clear, you can go ahead and head upstairs, and there may be some guards up here, so you just want to be careful, look around like I am, just how I did. Luckily there was no one up there, but sometimes there can be a civilian up here, and you may have to kill him, which will make you lose a little bit of money, but that's fine, and you'll end up making up for it in the end. I'm going to break that window right there, that's important, and then just take all the money on like the desk and the safe and stuff, and sometimes there can be money hidden under that red couch right there, but there wasn't that time. And then, while you wait for the drill, all you gotta really do is just kind of sit in this room and make sure nobody gets calls the police by seeing the bodies. So you just kind of want to stay around these bodies and make sure no one sees them. If you have the ability to bag and like throw bodies, that can be really helpful. What you could do is you could bag the bodies and then move them up to that room where the drill is in the back corner, and it would be out of the way, and you wouldn't have to sit in here all day. Now I just put that down, you don't really have to, I just had it, didn't know what to do with it. So we're just sitting here kind of watching. You can sit in that spot that I'm sitting in, but I kind of like sitting right here, or where I walked past rather. I had to restart the drill. You may have to restart the drill a few times, and if someone spots one of the bodies while you're restarting the drill, just go ahead and run, just sprint all the way down to where they are and try and shoot them or tie them up or whatever you have to do. It depends on if it's an enemy or a civilian. I'm going to try and not kill as many civilians as you can. It's generally not a good thing. So we're just kind of sitting in here and waiting, and then I see a guy walk in, and I have to kill him. He got really close to the door there. I was actually lucky that no one came and saw him. Now there can be people that come through the back door, so you want to keep your eye on that too. Just keep your eye on the 2 doors here, and I think they can see from the kitchen the bodies, so you want to be careful with that too, but luckily they didn't see it for me. And so yeah, you just sit here and make sure no one sees the bodies. That person almost saw me. Here I am going to, right here, I'm going to show you what perks you can get that can help. You want to get that perk, buy the ace version of that, and then buy that can help you with civilians, and that lets you pick up loot faster, loot bags. Those can be really helpful when you're doing this type of mission. So generally you want to you want to put all your skill points at least into Ghost for the most part. Of course, being me, I didn't have any of that. I was just going just to show you like the hardest, or the, you know, basically what someone who doesn't have any of the skills would do. So I'm just kind of sitting here waiting, and if the drill has to be restarted, go ahead and go up and restart it, unless there is a person about to walk into the room, and you want to make sure nobody does that. And I just kind of start dancing here. I dance to the music a little bit. Yeah, just kind of sit here. Now, occasionally the people in the kitchen will spot the bodies, but it's for the most part okay. That, like, it wouldn't really matter too much unless there's a lot of guards nearby that you haven't killed already. So if they do spot you, it's just, you can easily just tie them up and you would be fine, and just look out for guards walking into the kitchen and whatnot. I have to restart a drill a third time. Normally it doesn't have to get restarted this much. Normally it's just like 1 or 2 times, but 3 is kind of actually annoying. So yeah, just waiting in here. So you don't want to leave the room, especially over in this room, too much, because there can be people in there sometimes. And people can come from behind that gate in that room over there. So you just want to generally be careful. Also, if the manager is up in the his like little house thing or whatever, that room where the safe is, if the manager's up there, never try and tie him up, because the other civilians will always hear you. You always want to just beat him to death. You don't want to shoot him, just kill him by beating him to death, and that will guarantee that you won't be seen by any civilians. And I'm just dancing again. Yeah, just looking around. It can take quite a while. It's a good idea, if you can, to get the drill faster skill. I can't remember what skill tree it's from. I think it's technician, but don't quote me on that. So yeah, from these types of runs, you can generally get around $40,000 and around, I think, 4,000 to 5,000 experience, depending on what difficulty it's on. For me, this was difficulty 4 with the single yellow skull. So I got around $40,000 and 5,000 experience, I think. But it does change from difficulty to difficulty, and the later difficulties, such as the 2 yellow skulls or the 3 yellow skulls, or otherwise known as overkill mode, they can be a lot harder in some places. Like, for instance, the key cards drop a lot less often. So the drill finished, and so what you want to do is you want to grab just one bag. Just grab one bag, and that's it. Now, this may seem kind of like stupid, but you'll see in a second why you only grab one bag. And you just want to grab one bag and then come back downstairs. And before I forget to mention, you probably, I should have said this at the beginning, you, from the asset menu, you want to buy the loot truck. That makes it a lot easier to get the loot to the truck, and actually is kind of needed for this type of run. Although you can choose between 2 choices, which is the loot truck or the bad music. If you pick one of those 2, you can generally get this done in the same kind of fashion. Except with bad music, you have to carry the money bags all the way to where the van is, and it can be a little bit harder, but there's a lot less civilians, so you can just tie them all up. Especially if you have a second person to help you do that. Now, in a second, he's gonna say that the van will be there, or the truck will be there in a few seconds. Once he says that, go back upstairs and wait by the window. You'll see me do this in a second. Right there. So when he says that, you want to go upstairs and just wait by the window. And then once that little icon appears and it says to move the cash, grab all of the money and start throwing it into the truck. Once you've done that, you're gonna head back down the stairs, and you can do this any way you want. It's basically like, you basically just gotta run through all of the stuff. You gotta run all the way to the front entrance and run all the way to the van. You just basically sprint all the way. It doesn't matter if any civilians see you or anything, just run. And if any like guards try and shoot you, like guards in the nightclub, you can shoot them with any gun. It doesn't really matter. You just gotta run. You'll see me run in a second. I'm trying to get a good chance to run, and you'll see me do it right now. So I start running, and it's okay if you get detected. It doesn't really affect, as long as they don't call the cops, it doesn't affect your payout too much. So I kill that guy, and I keep running. You gotta run over here. That gate will open for you. And then you get in the van. That sounds wrong. And there you go. That is how you get quick money and experience on the nightclub mission. Oh, it's not really quick, but it's a good way to get money and experience if you're playing solo. So, yeah. This has been Gore, and you are awesome. Thank you for watching my video. I love you.
Now spend money and come back to me when ready to take on bigger things.